Everybody, thanks for joining us in our webinar today. This is Christy Wilbert, Director of Medicare Marketing with URL Insurance Group. Can you raise your hands online if you can see my screen? I just want to make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. Great, thank you so much. I just want to take a minute to give a general overview of URL before we begin the webinar in case there's any new listeners. URL is an independent marketing organization based in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We're a family-owned business and have been in the business for over 28 years. Our website that's up, it actually goes in effect tomorrow, so you're getting a sneak peek of it today. Here are all the departments that are listed here. We're Medicare Offerings. We are changing our name from Senior Care to Medicare Offerings. And here is our new screen. Karen McDaniel and myself are co-directing, and then Janine and Alyssa. Tools on our website. We do have some great tools out here for you. Quoting tools, product information, our certification links are out here. We also have a bi-weekly newsletter that will be going out today, and it's tomorrow, and it's every other Wednesday. As you can see, you can order supplies on our website also. So I just kind of wanted to give you a general idea of what you can find on our website. At this point, I'm going to have Dimitri take over. It's Dimitri Simos. He is from Guaranteed Trust Life, and he'll be discussing with you how to give your clients additional protection while earning more commissions using GTL's Advantage Plus products.
All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you, Christy. And give me a second here so I can make sure I pop up my screen. And it looks like it's sharing. So, like Christy said, my name is Dimitri Simos. I'm with Guaranteed Trust Life. I'm one of the sales managers here, and what we're going to talk about today is going to be, some sales ideas, some of the product, over the product to make sure that you understand, how the plan works. So it's, so your clients will definitely know what they're purchasing, and then some quick processing type of things just to make sure that once you do get your client up and running in terms of saying yes to the product, then you can get it submitted and then get paid, which obviously is always a good thing. But before we get started into all of that, I think the first thing probably that's most important to talk about, let's talk about a little about GTL, just so that you have a background about and understanding so you can tell your clients. For you guys, this is the information you want to know. We're located in Glenview, Illinois. We were founded in 1936, so we're 79 years in business. We are a mutual insurance company, still being led by the same family that founded the company back in 1936, the Holson family. We have a third generation of Holsons that's the chairman and CEO of the company today. From a financial standpoint, we're doing great. We just this past spring just got upgraded from AM Best from a B+ to a B++, and we're hopeful over the next couple of years we can even take that up to a A- rating. So very excited about that. From your client's perspective, they want to know that the company's been in business for 79 years. We're a mutual company, which that means that the owners of the company are really the policy holders. So those are nice things, and yes, that is what GTL looks like in the spring, summertime. We do, normally at this time of year it starts turning yellow and start getting a lot of white on the ground. But fortunately, we're not there yet. One of the things that GTL does a really great job of, and that's putting on conventions. And the conventions this year is going to be at the Fairmont Princess in Scottsdale, Arizona. The trip will actually take place March 16th through the 20th of 2016. And on the screen here, you'll see what the qualifying levels are for a writing agent, mere 100,000 points. And you get 1.5 points if you write an Advantage Plus or a cancer plan with GTL. You get for every dollar of annualized premium, you get 1.5 points towards your qualifying to the trip. And I believe tomorrow, or what's tomorrow? On the 15th, I believe, we'll be announcing something pretty interesting regarding the trip. So to maybe help you qualify. So keep your eyes open at your emails about that. So now let's get into the Advantage Plus. The Advantage Plus, I think we're going to talk a little historic information here with Advantage Plus. That the product was designed back in 2005. That was back when Medicare Advantage was really poking his head through the market again. Kind of everyone was talking about what's going to be happening with the senior market. With our Med Subs going away and so forth. As we know, 9 years later, that's not the case. But what we do know though is that Medicare Advantage plans are here to stay, and Advantage Plus was designed with the idea of taking care of the copays that the clients were to be facing. And in addition to those copays, we also were thinking that this would be a good opportunity for agents, to increase their income, for themselves, which obviously was going to be a good thing. Now, when you're thinking about the Advantage Plus, from a rule of thumb perspective, we're looking at the monthly premiums to be somewhere in the neighborhood between $40 to $60, depending on the client's age. The older the client will be, it's going to be a little bit more on the monthly premium side. 65 is going to be a little bit on the lower end of that spectrum. But that's the average. Now, can you do something less than $40 or $60? Absolutely. You're going to have some options. Give your clients a lot of options there. But that's typically what we see is somewhere between $40 to $60 a month is what we see get submitted into GTL on an average situation there. Now, a lot of folks wonder, who and how to sell the hospital indemnity plan, because that's what this is. This is a hospital indemnity plan. Please do not refer to this as a Medicare Advantage RET plan or Medicare Advantage supplement. Always refer to it as a standalone hospital indemnity plan offered by GTL. And make sure that your client does know that this is offered by GTL, not by the MA carrier that you're talking with, so that they have two distinct products that you're talking to them about. Who qualifies is anybody between the age of 40 to age 85 in most states. Some states, the minimum age that we can offer a plan would be 64 and a half. There's not that many of those left anymore, fortunately, but a great majority of the states are age 40 to age 85. Right now this is perfect timing, just right before AEP. You guys are getting ready, getting your scopes all stacked up, ready to go. And when you're talking to your client, make sure you add on that you want to talk to them about hospital indemnity plan, and they sign the scope that says Medicare Advantage and hospital indemnity. And this way you can talk to your client about both products. You're probably wondering, how do you talk about both products? Well, you really can't talk about both products. What we typically will find is that as you come up to a situation where there's a copay available that they need to take care of, you can, as we go through this presentation, you'll see at what point you're going to be able to mention just being able to say, hey, Mrs. Jones, just remind me at the end when we're done talking about the health plan itself to talk to you how I can take care of the copay. And a couple of things will happen there. It'll get them thinking about a second sale opportunity that you're going to want to present to them. And also, if they do remind you, you're going to know that they're very in tune to your presentation in general. So that's you got a couple of key things there you can gauge what's going on with the client. One of the things when I talk about hospital indemnity plan, there's no cookie cutter way of doing this type of. You got to really be creative. You do not have to have a Medicare Advantage plan to purchase a hospital indemnity plan, or as long like I said at the beginning, they have to be between age 40 and 85. That's all you have to really be concerned with in terms of who do you offer this to. So if you have a client that has a Med Sup, a high deductible Med Sup maybe, or obviously the Medicare Advantage, or if they're underage clients that have major medical or on group and they may have some copays that they might want to have covered there, feel free to take a look at the hospital indemnity plan and try to be being creative on how to use it. That would not a problem. Now, some of the copays that we're going to probably take a look at here that you really want to that you want to emphasize to your clients as you go through the presentation. Remind me when we talk about your hospital copay. Let's talk about how I can take care of that. Or we talk about your ambulance trips. Remind me. Let's talk about how I can take care of that copay for you, or outpatient surgery, skilled nursing, dental, vision, or cancer treatments. And that's where and those are some of the copays that MA plans have that you're going to be able to take care of for your clients. So let's get into the bare bones of the plan here and talk about the base benefit. Now, without this portion of the plan, you're not going to be able to get access to to any other parts of the policy. So this is the important piece right here. In many of the states today, and I'll show you a product availability map, which states are going to have what they're going to have a 3- and 6-day benefit period. That's something brand new to GTL as of July. We've had, like I said, we've had this plan since 2005. We made some tweaks over the years, and this is just the latest of tweaks to try to make sure we offer, what's relevant in today's marketplace. And we thought a 3- and 6-day benefit period would make some sense in some circumstances that are out there in the market today. The minimum benefit period that you can purchase for a 3-day plan would be $350 a day to $600 a day. The 6-day minimum is $250 a day to $600 a day. The 10-day and 21-day plans have a $100 per day minimum to $600. Now, the nice thing about our plan is that you got to choose in $10 increments. So you can really dial it into exactly what your client need is. Now, one of the big key features about the daily benefit here is that it has unlimited restoration. So if your client is in the hospital for 5 days and they have a 10-day benefit period plan, and they're out of the hospital for 61 days or longer, they're going to get a brand new 10-day benefit period available to them if they get hospitalized again. But if your client was in the hospital for 5 days, they were out, and then 3 weeks later they were hospitalized again for another 5 days, they'll have those 5 days left from the initial hospitalization to be able to finish up that 10-day benefit period, and then they're going to need to wait until they're out of the hospital for 61 days or longer after the second confinement to be able to get the full 10-day benefit period restored for that client. That's the key right there, is making sure that the client is out of the hospital for consecutive 61 days before they can get the restoration of the 3, 6, 10, or 21-day benefit period. Now, as part of the base plan, you're also going to get a couple of additional benefits that are that's no additional cost for the client. So it's just what's nice benefits for them to have is that there's an emergency room benefit, which the client would receive $150 for emergency room if they were admitted within 24 hours due to an accident. And then also there's a mental health benefit where the client would receive $175 per day for up to 7 days if confined to a mental health facility. So this is the base plan. So many times you're going to have clients that might not be able to afford a lot, and you may just go with the base plan option, which would be fine, for sure. But we are in the insurance business, and guess what we have in the insurance business? A lot of riders at times. And there are some riders that are going to make this plan a more complete coverage for your client and take care of those co-pays. The ambulance rider, in most states, it's going to be a $200 per trip, 4 times per year, but we do not require a confinement in the hospital for the client to get this benefit. So what does that mean? That means that if your client gets injured at home, they get sent to they call the ambulance, they get sent to the hospital, but then they need to be transferred from the hospital to another facility. They'll be able to get that $200 benefit up to 4 times per year. Now, if they only went in there for something minor, where they got hurt and they were able to get patched up, from the emergency room and then get sent back home, they'd still be able to receive a $200 benefit because even though they weren't confined. That's very important. A lot of other plans out there have a confinement requirement in their plan, so that's definitely a big benefit, and it's a very inexpensive benefit, as you'll see as we go through the presentation here today. Lump sum cancer rider. We do offer it with or without a recurrence benefit, and I will go through the lump sum cancer with more detail here in the next slide or two. But just know that the benefit that you can offer your clients are going to be from $2,500 to $20,000 of benefit. We do also offer a skilled nursing rider, which provides a benefit for skilled nursing care from days 1 through 50, and you can choose either $100, $150, or $200 a day of daily benefit. Now, to get access to the skilled nursing rider, the client needs to be in the hospital for 3 days, and then be admitted into a skilled nursing facility within 30 days of being in the hospital. Very similar to what Medicare does in the traditional side of the Medicare world there. We do also offer a lump sum hospital rider, and the lump sum hospital rider would provide day one benefit if the insured gets hospitalized of $250, $500, or $750. Quite frankly, we really don't see a lot of this benefit being offered in your traditional MA world, because the copays are typically, we're finding, are going to be longer copays for days-wise, and so typically we don't see a lot of this. But this, again, this goes towards, you can use towards your creativity. If you have somebody that's on just Medicare Part A and B, and you want to cover the hospitalization deductible that they have on Medicare Part A, then you can use a lump sum hospital rider for $750. And then you'll get your daily benefit amount that you've chosen. So day one, let's say if it was $100, day one the client will get $850. Then each additional day in the hospital they get their $100 until it gets go right back to the client there. This lump sum hospital rider, the skilled nursing rider, these two benefits do restore if the insured is out of the hospital or facility for 61 days or longer. Then we also do offer an outpatient surgery rider. As you can see, you can go from $250 to $1,000 of benefit. This benefit is payable 2 times per calendar year. That's the outpatient surgery rider. So if it's outpatient surgery facility, that's they go in for cataract, let's say, once in February they'll get that $500 benefit. They'll get a $500 benefit for the one time in February. Then if they have second cataract surgery in August, you get another $500 benefit for that. Again, calendar year, 2 times per year benefit. It's a nice benefit to add on to your clients. Now, one thing I do want to, because states like to do their own, have their own, their own forms and such. So make sure that if you're working a particular state, you look at, you get your state-specific forms to be able to offer to your clients. And you always want to make sure you use your residence state of your client to what forms they want to use. So what's their residence state? If they live in Pennsylvania, then you want to make sure you use Pennsylvania forms. Okay, so it's very important to make sure you have the appropriate states there. So now what we have done this year, part of the upgrade of the Advantage Plus, is that we've added some new riders to the plan. And one of the new riders was a short duration hospital stay benefit. And this short duration hospital stay benefit is a very neat rider. And before I get into this additional riders, I want to make sure I point out here that one of the things that GTL does automatically is that if someone's in a hospital under observation status, we will pay them a full benefit for being 1 day of confinement or 2 days of confinement. The most we've seen somebody under observation has been 5 days under observation, and the client was able to get 5 days of worth of their daily benefit paid out to them for that observation stay. So it's very important. We don't reduce the benefits, for those folks that are that were coded as observation, which is a big positive for the Advantage Plus plan. Many of the plans out there will reduce benefits or will not pay benefits for observation status at all. So very important to let your clients know that. Now the reason why I brought that up is because the short duration hospital stay now, this rider that we're adding on to the 10 and 21 day plans and it's already going to be included in the 3 and 6 day plans, will provide a benefit to your client if they were admitted in the hospital under observation or just admitted but released within 12 to 24 hours. They didn't quite make that 24-hour stay to be a 1 day benefit of daily confinement. So they'll be able to get their daily confinement benefit from the short duration hospital stay rider by if they were released from the hospital from observation or confinement between 12 to 24 hours. And once we get to the pricing of this, I'll tell you, if you please, if you do nothing else, add this rider on every single time. It is so inexpensive the client won't even, you won't even notice it. It's going to be right around $1 a month, depending on the age and the benefit amount. But typically, it'll be right around $1 a month for your client to have this benefit added on to their plan. Now we did upgrade our lump sum cancer rider. And the lump sum cancer rider that we upgraded, again, $2,500 to $20,000 is the benefit that's available. But you're going to have two options of cancer plans that you can offer to your client. You can offer your client a use it and then terminate type of style, or you can offer your client a use it and keep it in force, which is with recurrence benefit. Now the nice thing, the way that's going to work is this: if you don't offer the recurrence benefit with for your lump sum cancer, once your client uses the lump sum cancer benefit of $2,500 to $20,000, whatever that benefit is that they chose, because if they had a growth spreading cancer, then that rider is going to terminate along with the premium is going to terminate. But if you offer this lump sum cancer rider with the recurrence benefit, although the client may get a lump sum benefit for for growth spreading cancer, let's say of $5,000, that rider is still going to stay in force. And we'll show you how I'll show you in a couple slides here how that recurrence is going to work in terms of. But that's a nice thing, is that it's going to stay in force. So if there is another occurrence of cancer, they're going to be able to get more benefit out of this rider. Now, as part of the cancer rider, there's a one-time payout for cancer in situ. I know many of us aren't doctors, so what is cancer in situ? It's a localized cancer that just has not spread to the surrounding tissues. And typically with cancer in situ, a surgery and some treatment will take care of that, and then the client typically goes on to a normal life. But also, in addition to that cancer in situ benefit, we also are offering paying out a $500 for basal cell or squamous cell skin cancer. I know many folks know what basal cell is. It's a very common form of skin cancer, and they can go to a dermatologist and they'll take care of that right there in their office, and then there's nothing more to think about other than when the dermatologist says stay out of the sun. But the nice thing about this basal cell benefit here is that it's one time per year payout, but it's payable 3 times over the life of the cancer rider. So it's a great, this lump sum cancer rider, great benefit to add on for your clients. And then we also offer a dental vision rider, and the annual benefits available on a dental vision rider is $400, $800, or $1,200, and I will get into more detail about the dental vision rider here in a couple moments here. So let's talk a little about cancer, because I do believe that cancer is an important benefit to offer with that Medicare Advantage plans. You're probably not going to start off the conversation with your client that 50% of men, 33% of women will be diagnosed with cancer during their lifetime. That's more for you to know, just to kind of have in the back of your mind to try to just to remember that this is an important benefit. Now, why do I think cancer is an important benefit to add on to the for the Advantage Plus to take care of some Medicare Advantage copays? Because to me, it's all about the MOOP. And when I look at what many of the plans out there on the Medicare Advantage side have a radiation chemotherapy copay, typically 20%, which does get applied to the MOOP, and that's assuming you're in network. Now, sometimes you're going to be, maybe if you have a plan that has an in-network, out-of-network scenario, then if you go out-of-network, then your max amount of pocket for that out-of-network could be around $10,000. So why do I like cancer? I like it because you're going to get a lot of benefit for a small amount of premium. And when I'm thinking about Medicare Advantage plans, I'm looking to take care of MOOP, daily confinement. You're taking care of something that can get your client to the MOOP in a quick way. Cancer, radiation chemotherapy copay. Again, they can get to their MOOP in a quick way because radiation chemotherapy is going to be an expensive, treatment. It's not going to be $10,000 type situation. It's going to be more like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. Now, in my ideal world, do I think a $10,000 plan, benefits does make a lot of sense for your clients? Absolutely. The reason why is because a couple ways. I mentioned already because of the out-of-network scenario that they may have to be responsible for $10,000. But on the other hand, though, is that if someone gets diagnosed with cancer during this part of the year, the latter part of a given year, and they start their radiation chemotherapy treatment, they're going to hit their MOOP for this party for right now for this year. But if they continue the radiation chemotherapy into the following year, they're going to probably end up hitting their MOOP for into that year too. So by having $10,000 of benefit, you're going to give your client a good chance of taking care of the MOOP in a 2-year period, which would I'm sure be very very appreciative from their perspective of not having to pay the max amount of pocket. But how would you maybe start this conversation about cancer coverage with the clients. Just ask them, do you have any friends or family that have been diagnosed with cancer? And they're gonna, and just, let's just, sit back tight and just listen. Because, I think most of us are gonna probably, can agree that we know somebody that's been diagnosed with cancer, and it was not, it was a difficult time in their lives. So, let the client talk about it, and then this is when you can kind of present to them, what you believe they should have in terms of from a cancer protection. Now, I mentioned earlier that we have a recurrence benefit on our rider, and the way that the recurrence benefit would work is the following. So let's assume that I get diagnosed with cancer. I get paid from Guarantee Trust $10,000. That's great. I take care of, I got the money, I'm good. Now I get treated, I'm going to remission. So that's when the clock starts. Remission is when, after treatment, I am done. So now, once I get diagnosed here, I'm in remission, clock starts. Now if I'm cancer-free for 5 years or longer, and then I get diagnosed with cancer again after 5 years, I'm going to get access to 100% of my original benefit. But if it was unfortunate that I got diagnosed with cancer less than 5 years, if it was 1 year, it'd be 10%. If it was in years 2 and 3, it'd be 25% of the original benefit. If it was in year 4, it'd be 50% of the original benefit. So let's play out the situation here. After 5 years, I get diagnosed with cancer. I get paid by GTL another $10,000. Probably one of the greatest things about this recurrence benefit is that it does not need to be the same cancer. It could be a different kind of cancer. So any kind of diagnosis of cancer on the second time around will still generate that second payment. Very, very strong benefit for your clients to have. It's probably a little bit surprised when we're talking hospital indemnity plan that you're going to hear a dental vision rider is also part of a hospital indemnity plan. But so we did this because we thought it'd be easier for you as the agent to talk about one company at a time with your clients, and maybe keep it very simple for your clients to keep straight of what they're being offered. So the dental vision rider is what we're going to talk about now. The annual benefit options are from $400, $800, or $1,200. Now, in the first year only, I will tell you that the annual benefit options are in half. There's $200, $400, or $600. The reason for this is that in the first year, we'll pay out 80% of actual charges, not usual or customary or or anything like that, or it's actual charges. So that we don't belong to any networks with this plan. It's off of the EOB that the dentist provides your client, up to 50% of the maximum benefit level. That's why I tell you that in the first year, the annual maximums would be $200, $400, or $600. Starting the second year, the client would be at 80% of actual charges again, up to 100% of the maximum benefit level. So they would have in the second year their $400, $800, and $1,200 in annual benefit. Now there is an annual $100 deductible that applies to the dental vision rider, but does not include or does not go against the preventative services. And what are the preventative services? After a 3-month waiting period of purchasing the rider, they'd be able to get up to 75% for dental cleaning, or up to $50, I think 75%, sorry, up to $75 for preventative dental appointment or preventative dental cleanings, and up to $50 for one basic eye exam or refraction per calendar year. Now, after a 6-month waiting period, and this is where the $100 annual deductible would start to kick in, the client would be able to go do fillings, get a root canal, or up to that calendar year maximum, of course, and then also a $200 prescription eyewear or contacts benefit. Then after 12 months of the rider being enforced, then the client can go in and get their bridges, crowns, and full dentures and so forth taken care of. But the only caveat to this 12-month waiting period is that if your client has existing bridges or dentures, but they need repair or replacement because of an injury, we will waive the 12-month waiting period, in that circumstance. Dental vision rider is a great little rider to add on for your clients for sure. I promised earlier I was going to tell you where is the Advantage Plus available today. The states that you see in green are going to have They're going to have a lot of the optional riders that we talked about today, or the benefit periods available. The states in green will have that. We just, we're just getting updates all the time about which states are getting the new riders available. But that, again, like I mentioned, there will be some states that may not approve all the new riders or all the new benefit periods. So make sure you take a look at your specific state to see what exactly your state has approved and has available for your clients. So you guys know about the product. What the nuts and bolts are of that. Now the next question is, how easy is it to underwrite the product? Very simple to underwrite. It's a simplified jet issue policy, so that means it's a simple yes/no application. You ask the questions that are on the application. They're black and white questions. There's no gray matter in there. It's either a yes or no answer. If they answer no on the questions all the way down to the first 5 questions, answer no, you know you're going to get a policy issued. We don't do an MIB, RX check, or phone interview. The questions are going to have, all the questions are going to, regarding the hospital indemnity, are going to be within the last 12 months have you've been hospitalized. Or if that was a yes, for example, then just send a reminder 3 months later. If they were hospitalized 9 months ago, 3 months later, set up an appointment to make sure you can go back and talk to them about the hospital indemnity plan. It's all about 12 months there. In many of the states, there's only a couple states that we do not have a guarantee issue, and that's going to be in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. But many states will have a guarantee issue window, and this is a great window for you to take advantage of. From age 64.5 to age 65.5, you do not have to answer the first 5 questions of the application. That's big, because unfortunately, folks are going to be, may be treated, may get diagnosed with something prior to age 65 that may exclude them from coverage. If they had to ask the question. So because they can answer, they don't have to answer the first 5 questions for guarantee issue, they'll be able to get a policy issued for the client. It's big, especially if you got a client that's diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and they're insulin dependent, and then now you're seeing them at between that time frame window at 64 to 65, they can get protection. The cancer rider is never a guarantee issue situation, so keep that in mind. You always have to answer the 3 questions that are regarding the cancer. But even though if you're looking at guarantee issue, or if the client answer the health questions, there's always going to be a pre-ex language that's involved with, that they're going to have to take into consideration. The only state that does not have a pre-existing language in their state is North Carolina. So the way the pre-ex would work is that, let's say, for example, let's say we'll just kind of go with the guarantee issue scenario. Someone has insulin-dependent diabetes, and they got the policy issued, and then within the first 6 months of the policy being enforced, that client was hospitalized due to their insulin-dependent diabetes. That would not be a covered event. But if that client, instead of, let's say they're insulin-dependent diabetic, but let's say that client had a heart attack a week after they had the policy enforced, that would be a covered event, and they would get benefits from the plan. So just keep in mind with how that there is a pre-ex with this plan. Again, the issue ages are from age 40 to age 85. The cancer rider can be issued up to age 85. The ambulance rider will be issued up to age 80. Rates are based on issue age. So that means that if you're a 65-year-old and you have this plan, your cost should stay the same from that a client purchased today. It will not go up every year like MedSup does according to age and so forth. This is based on what the age that they purchased. Now, can the rates go up at some point in the future? Because we do a rate increase in the whole block of business. Sure, that is a possibility. Do we foresee that happening? We don't. The products like these are priced to try to stay level. It's based on experience. So we don't foresee anything happening in terms of from a pricing perspective. From if ever. So things are looking very good. Now, I know one question I always get is that does this policy stay enforced forever? Can stay enforced forever. Yes, as long as your client pays their premium, either monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. As long as they pay that premium, they can keep this policy enforced for as long as they live. Even so, Keep in mind they can purchase it up to age 85, but they can keep it in force forever. Now, this is probably a good time here to talk about how you can submit business to GTL. We have a couple different ways you can do this. Those of you that like to do business electronically, we do have a web agent portal which you can access through our website at gtlic.com. If you have an Apple iPad or if you have an Android tablet of some sort, then you can look at using our agent portal by just accessing gtlic.com, logging in using your writing number and your password, and then you can do the application right there in front of your client, or you can do it on your desktop over the phone, with your client. You have a couple different options. We can do that. If you like more information on that, we can definitely talk about that at a later time. If you like to do paper applications, not a problem. Okay, go ahead, do a paper app. Have your client sign it, and then go ahead and submit and then you can submit the application a number of different ways. You can do it by email, by scanning it into your computer, attaching it to an email, and sending it to und@gtlic.com, or you can fax it if you don't have the ability to scan. You can fax to new business at 847-699-8493. We also do have an iPad app that you can get access to through Apple's application store, and that's another option that you can do. For these 4 methods of submitting applications, we don't require a first month's premium to be submitted. When you take the application, with the exception of the iPad and the agent portal, if you email or fax to us, you can send in a voided check just to make sure we get the proper numbers there. And then we'll go ahead and process the business, and then once the business is issued or approved, then we'll go ahead and draft upon issuance. Very nice, very quick process in that regard. If you submit a piece of business to GTL by on a Wednesday of a given week, we'll have it issued by the following Wednesday, and then commissions are paid that next Friday. So another positive about about hospital indemnity plans is that you're going to get paid. You're going to get paid when the policy is actually written. You're not going to need to wait till 2016. You'll be able to get paid on every week that you're submitting business. You'll get paid on that. And if you do like to take premium, your monthly premiums from your clients, we do accept paper apps by mail still. Not a problem there. Go ahead and submit that first month's premium along with the application, and then go ahead and then we'll just mail it to GTL at our 1275 Milwaukee Avenue, Glenview, Illinois address. Okay, so hopefully many of you have written GTL products in the past or the Advanced Plus in the past, and you're looking to maybe increase some protection that your client has need for. You can do that very simply by taking a new application and only adding the amount of the increased amount that you want to put on for your client existing policyholders coverage. The minimum amount that we can do an increase for a daily benefit would be $50 is the minimum. So if you want to add on $150 or $70 or $80 or $100, not a problem. You can go ahead and add that to make sure to cover up any kind of increases that may have happened on the MA side over the last couple of years. Or if you want to just add riders to their existing policy, you can go ahead and just do that on the application and just make sure you check off increasing benefits and just put on the riders you want to add. Keep in mind whenever you're adding benefits to your Advanced Plus plan, you're going to generate first-year commissions on the increase of benefits. And then if you do want to add on the dental vision rider to those existing clients, it's a very simple process to do it. All the client needs to do really here is contact GTL's customer service at 800-338-7452. They're going to say their name, their policy, what their policy number is. They're going to say, I'd like to have the either $400, $800, or $1,200 dental vision plan added on, and then we're going to add that on for them. Or we do also have a form for that if you want to keep records of what your clients have agreed to. You can just check off what the benefit amount is that they want to add, and then have them sign it. Then you sign it. You can scan that in and send it into underwriting area, and then we'll go ahead and process that and add that to their policy. Just keep in mind when we do add on the riders or new benefits and such, that the riders will take effect upon the next policy premium draft date. So that's when everything will go into effect for that client. Let's take a look at some premiums here, because I'm sure we're talking about product and processes and stuff are all fun and stuff, but let's really get down to the, what is this going to cost for the client? And I kind of look at this. This is a 3-day benefit period at age 65 for $350 a day. Your monthly premium would be $22.84 per month. If you did a 6-day at $250 a day, that'd be $22.58 per month. 10-day at $250 a day, it's $25.54 a month. Now the thing that's going to, again, like I mentioned, I don't talk about the 21-day too much because we really don't sell much of it at all. Really the benefit periods that folks are offering are the 3, 6, 10 days. Now, the 3 and 6-day benefit period I mentioned earlier, the short duration stay rider benefit is already included in the base rates, so there's nothing you need to do there. If you wanted to add the short duration stay rider on the 10-day benefit period, as you'll see there, it's $26.40 per month, so it's less than $1 per month to add that short duration stay benefit. So from a comparison purposes, to keep apples to apples, I'm going to use the $26.40 to compare with the 6 and 3-day benefit plans. Now, if someone was in the hospital for 3 days, at $350 a day, the total benefit they're going to receive is $1,050. On a 6-day plan, if they had $250 of daily benefit and they're in it for 6 days, they're going to receive $1,500. The 10-day benefit period at $250, they're going to receive $2,500. So I'm going to tell you that the best option for your client for the difference of less than $4 per month would be a 10-day benefit plan. And the reason why I like the 10-day benefit plan is that somebody may be in the hospital for full 6 days, but the possibility of them going into the hospital, being readmitted within 60 days of being in the hospital are about 25%, because that's what our data shows. Since we've been doing this for long, we've done some data mining, and we've seen that 25% of the folks, would get additional benefit if they had a 10-day plan. If the client had a 6-day benefit period, they were in the hospital for 6 days, then they got released, and then within 60 days they went in for another 2 or 3 days, 4 days, they wouldn't be able to get additional benefit. So is the additional a little less than $4 a month worth it to be able to have access to $2,500 versus $1,500? It's a $1,000 difference in benefit. For less than $4 a month, I'd say I would have to argue yes. But I do keep in mind, and I understand that sometimes you're going to have a premium situation going out to particular clients that by offering them $4 less a month, it's going to make them much better for their budget, and that's fine. But I think the better play is definitely go to the 10-day plan. So let's put this plan together, including some other riders, like the ambulance rider. If you want, this is something that we see that gets submitted 50% of the time. 50% of the apps have it. They have the ambulance rider. As you can see, it's $4.20 per month to add on to your just base plan. So instead of $26.40 for a 10-day plan, you're looking at $30.60. Very, very affordable still, I think, for most people's budgets. Even on a 6-day benefit period, again, you're only looking at $26.78 a month. I know when we were talking cancer earlier, I know I said ideally $10,000 would be the way to do it, just because of the way that the co-pays are working in the radiation chemotherapy side. But realistically, and my more sensible side of me will say, understand that budgetarily perspective, most clients are going to probably want to look at a $5,000 cancer benefit with recurrence. So now if you add that $5,000 cancer with recurrence, it's $1,838 a month. So that brings your monthly premium to $48.98 a month. So we're right there in that target of what we're looking at, in terms of from a monthly premium perspective. Now, some folks may think that the skilled nursing benefit may make more sense than the cancer plan, or may want to add that in addition to the cancer plan. Not a problem. It's $17.22 a month for $150 a day of benefit from days 1 through 50. So that would bring the total premium at $66.20 a month on a 10-day plan, or $62.38 a month on a 6-day plan. I know I talked about dental vision, so let's take a look at what a dental vision benefit or rider would look like. At $800 of annual benefit, the annual cost or the monthly cost on that would be $32.26 per month at age 65. Now, one of the nice things to keep in mind here about the dental vision rider is that the dental vision rider does pay the same commission rate as your Advantage Plus does. There's not a different commission schedule for the dental vision. it does pay the same amount that you would get paid on the Advantage Plus. So that's another nice big check mark to a positive there for the dental vision with GTL. Now right here I want to kind of go over a couple of examples just to kind of help, frame this up a little bit. Assuming that your client has a $200 ambulance copay and a $250 hospitalization copay. If your client were to be in the hospital for 1 day and they need to take the ambulance to go into the hospital, their copay out of pocket for sure would be $450. If you wanted to cover that copay with using the Advantage Plus on a 10-day benefit period basis, it would cost on an annual basis $377.75. So just 1 day in the hospital, they're still going to be better off going with the GTL plan on an annual basis to take care of that. And in addition, with the GTL plan, they're in there for multiple days, it just becomes better and better for the client for paying that $377 versus not. I'm also a big fan of, I know I talked about the 10-day benefit period because, if they go back in the hospital, they're going to get additional benefit. But I'm also a big fan of also offering more than what their initial copays are going to be for the client with their Medicare Advantage plan. If they have a $250 copay today, take a look at offering $30 to $50 more than what they have their initial copay today. So right with this example here, I assume that I went with a $300 copay with a $200 ambulance rider. Even by giving them an extra $50 per day of benefit than they needed, it's still going to only cost them on an annual basis of $443.30. So they're breaking even in that scenario in essence from a dollars out perspective. So I think it makes a lot of sense because we don't know what's going to happen with MAs next year, or if your client's going to be able to qualify for upgrading their their daily benefit amounts in the years coming up. So why not give them some more daily benefit amounts up front, so this way they can take care of that potential changes in the future. Now this is something that I like to call Dimitri's random thoughts. You have to be odd to be number one. It's probably my most favorite random thought, because I can tell you that a lot of the folks out there that are doing Medicare Advantage plans today, all they're doing is walking in, talking about the Medicare Advantage plan, and then walking out. If I were you, I'd be thankful for those folks, because that just gives me nothing but opportunity. Because you're going to go in and talk to your Medicare Advantage clients, and you're going to offer them the Advantage Plus 100% of the time that you're presenting a Medicare Advantage plan, as long as you got the appropriate forms filled out and completed, of course. And if you're offering it 100% of the time, you're going to get a certain amount of those folks that are going to say yes. Typically, we see it's a 60% conversion rate. So that's going to be success for you guys, and no doubt about it. But that's okay. If you're calling a client and they say, yeah, you know what, Dimitri, yeah, you know what, I already have a Medicare Advantage plan, so I really don't need to talk about Medicare Advantage plan. You say, oh, that's great to hear, right? Have you taken care of the copays that you have with your Medicare Advantage plan? And more times than not, your clients are going to say, those folks are going to say, what are you talking about, Dimitri? Well, yeah, I have a plan available that can help you take care of that $250 copay and so forth. And then now instead of walking away from a sale, now you've created an opportunity to have a sale with that client, and then potentially, maybe in the following year, maybe turn them into your client overall with the MA and the hospital indemnity plan, because you're able to show them something that the other agent did not do. I think many of us over the course of our careers, have come across this, showing the good, better, best approach. These are just some examples of what a good, better, best approach could be. It could be a 250 short stay rider and that's it, 250 with an ambulance rider, or 250 short stay ambulance rider and a $5,000 cancer, or maybe it's short stay ambulance rider, dental vision rider. You can make this up to be however you need it to work, work in the market that you're in. But the idea behind the good, better, best has always been is that, what is your client most likely to choose? They're going to most likely choose the better and best. Nobody wants to just be good. Everybody wants to be better or best. So then now you're going to be able to give your clients better coverage and take care of more of those copays for them by showing them the good, better, best approach. Great way to be able to talk about this with your clients. Then there's definitely a truth to this, is that do you want to increase your client referrals and retention? The reason why I bring this up here is that that's what the Advantage Plus can do for you. By taking care of the co-pays that that your clients are going to have with their Medicare Advantage plans, you're going to definitely increase the retention of having them keeping an MA plan along with the Advantage Plus that you offered them. But you're probably going to also gain more referrals from those clients, because they're going to be tickled pink to know that now their exposure is limited, and they're going to tell their friends about it, and then that's just going to get more phone calls for you to be able to talk to folks about offering Advantage Plus, or even talking about their health plans in general. So it's definitely a great thing. Then my final thought is that who is the expert? You are. So make sure that you do talk to your clients every time about about the Advantage Plus product. Offer them exactly what you think is what you need. There's nothing wrong with going big in terms of $300. If your two copays $250, so offer them 10-day benefit period, $300 a day, ambulance rider, cancer, for $10,000, or whatever other riders you may like, and then you can always pare it back if the client needs to pare it back. Nothing wrong with that at all. So so just keep on doing what you do. Your clients are going to be very, very thankful for that. So some contact information here that because we're in support. We're here to support URL. It's we're in a partnership with URL, and so I'm here to help them, help you. So if you guys ever have any questions or anything like that from a product perspective, or you want some supplies sent to you, feel free to give us a holler at our sales support area at 800-323-6907. We're here Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time, or 8 to 6 Eastern Time. On Fridays, we're here from 8 to 12 Central Time, or 9 to 1 Eastern. Now, our website, this is a huge tool for you guys to be able to use. We have a GT link, which is at gtlic.com. Once you log in to the agent portal, you're going to see GT link as an option. That's where you can go and grab a PDF of the application if you needed to get if you need an application, because you ran out and the supplies are on their way and you need to get an app. Great place to get that. Quoting software. Please download our quoting software. It's a very, very simple way of being able to calculate the quote and preparing the options for your clients. Much easier to click on a button, calculate the monthly premium for you at an instant. So this way the conversation can be a nice, smooth, quick conversation for your client. And then also you can get access to the agent portal, which would be our online application, the online application tool that we have available there. New business, another great number to know. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of conditions that go on there health-wise with folks. We're probably not going to know all of them. If you're not sure if it falls under what questions should fall under on the application, feel free to call New Business and ask an underwriter. This is the condition that the clients tell me that they were treated for in the last 12 months. How should I answer this question? Yes or no? There should be yes or no. The client underwriter will be more than happy to assist you with those types of questions. And then also customer service is a great number to have, because the 800-338-7452 number is the starting point of where the clients are going to want to start their claim process. That's where they start off with the claim, or if they need to change an address, or some little service things like that. Customer service is where we're going to get started at. So from my perspective, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank URL for hosting this webinar today for me. And if you guys have any questions for me directly that I can help answer for you, obviously Christy, and her staff are very well versed on our product, but I'd be happy to assist. That can be reached through the sales support number at 800-323-6907. Just ask for Dimitri, and I'm the only one here with that name, so that'll be easy to find.
Thank you, Dimitri. I do have one question on here from Benita. She is asking you to review the underwriting again, if you don't mind.
Sure. The underwriting is actually very simple. It's a 5-question application in most states. So if the insured answers no to all the health questions, the policy will be issued. We don't do any PHIs. We don't do any MIBs or RX checks. It's all based on the questions that are answered by the insured at your initial interview. So you'll know if the policy will be issued or not.
Okay, and it looks like a few people do have their hands raised. If you just want to type your question into that section, we'll be more than happy to go over them. We have a question from PF Thomas, sorry. Does quote software run on Mac?
No, unfortunately it doesn't. It's a Windows-based quoting software at this time, unfortunately. There may be some upgrades coming out here soon, but I can't, with IT, you never know when that upgrade's gonna happen.
Do you have commission information, or do you want me to reach out to the agents directly with that?
Yeah, that's something that URL would be able to have a conversation with.
Right, that's what I figured. PF, I'll get that information to you. Okay, well, thank you so much, Dimitri, and thank you everybody for your time. I know it's a busy season, and I hope you have a very successful AEP.